A very warm welcome to you at home. I am Musam Khalipi, and this is Afroshowbiz News, the show that brings you all things art and entertainment from around the African continent. Now, to keep in touch, feel free to email us at afroshowbiznews@sabc.co.za. Also follow us on Twitter. Our handle is @AfroShowbizNews. Let's have a look at stories making headlines this week. South African-Australian actor gets listed by Time magazine. And South Africa's comedians make it big on international circles. South African-Australian actor Troye Sivan, best known for his lead role in the Spud movie series, has been listed on Time magazine's list of the most influential teens of 2014.
I've actually received my army corner papers.
The Johannesburg-born 19-year-old who moved to Australia when he was just a toddler shot to prominence in 2009 with his role in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which he snagged after a Hollywood producer saw him on YouTube. He has also taken part in theatrical work such as Oliver Twist at the Regal Theatre in the USA, as well as Waiting for Godot at His Majesty Theatre in Europe. Sivan then went on to star in a number of films, and in addition, the 19-year-old donated all the profits from one of his most successful songs to a children's cancer hospital. He has been an activist for the gay and lesbian community. On August 15, 2014, he released a 5-song EP entitled Tricks, which debuted at #1 on iTunes in over 55 countries. The album debuted at #5 on the Billboard 200 the following week, scoring Sivan his first top 10 album. Happy Little Pill, a song on the album, peaked at #10 at the IRIA singles chart, which was certified gold by the Australian Recording Industry Association for shipments. To date, the young star has released 2 studio albums, Dare to Dream as well as June Harvey.
South African choreographer, teacher and dancer Fana Chabalala has chosen dance as a medium to express himself and some of the issues that people face. He's currently in France to perform one of his pieces titled Man and to work on French choreographer Michel Calemenes.
Fana Chabalala is currently in France to join again French choreographer Michel Calemenes in his dance house club for a residency leading to the premiere of his solo creation, Man. This follows a number of residencies and performances he had in France in the last few years. His solo creation Man performance started on the 10th and at the 11th of this month at Club and will show again on Tuesday the 28th of October at Préjova Pavillon Noir. Chabalala's Man is inspired by an ideal kind of a man within society and how the roles and responsibilities have changed throughout years, leaving men in a state of bewilderment. A man in a society is expected to be brave, industrious, and dominant, and if this is not achieved, most men end up losing their image and ego as a dominant figure in society. The choreographer also looks at how the 20 years of freedom have affected the role of a man within South Africa and how this has given indirect platforms to our leaders to become what they are today. Later on in December, fellow dancer Thulani Chauke will join him to perform his duet Between Us at Club as part of a new festival called Festive Angst. Chabalala is the 2013 Standard Bank Young Artist Award winner for dance. He is currently a professional company member of the Forgotten Anglo Theatre Collaborative and Assistant Artistic Director.
Nakani Tori, who is a South African musician, is currently in France to perform at the Mama Festival. The award-winning artist was invited to the festival with the support program of the Equation Musique.
Nakane was performing at the annual Mama Festival in Paris, also known as the gateway to French music market. While only in its 5th year, the festival has already managed to gather an audience of thousands of festival goers and delegates. Mama is a music and convention festival based in Paris for the international music industry actors. These include producers, promoters, agents, record companies, publishers, promotion companies, media and other sectors. The 3-day music festival seeks to bring together French and international professionals from the music industry to the heart of Paris. On stage, there will be about 100 live acts, 50 conferences and 20 venues. Approximately 200 French and international speakers will be present on different stages and will debate the music industry's current vital issues, propose and discuss future considerations. Nakane made his recording debut in 2013 with a series of releases produced by Matthew Fink and recorded at the Sting Music Studios. He began performing in South Africa in 2011 and quickly gained popularity. The festival, which started on the 15th, ended yesterday in Paris.
A photographic exhibition titled Home Away from Home, Finding Refuge in Italy during apartheid, in collaboration with the Embassy of Italy and the Italian Institute of Culture, which depicts the anti-apartheid movement in Italy, where prominent figures such as Oliver Tambo and Anthony Mongalo took refuge, is currently taking place at the Constitution Hill in Johannesburg until the 14th of November. We have in studio Maurizio Moriano, who is the chairperson of the Italian section of Hellenic Italian Portuguese Alliance. Now, welcome to Afroshowbiz News.
Thank you very much, Musa.
Thank you for coming.
Very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Now, Maurizio, please take us through what the exhibition is actually all about.
Well, the exhibition, first of all, is very important, especially for our children in South Africa, because it illustrates an important chapter in our history. And in summary, it deals with the assistance that Italy gave, and specifically a city called Reggio Emilia in northern Italy, that Italy gave the liberation movements of Africa. From 1970, the city of Reggio Emilia began the assistance to the liberation movements, and the exhibition specifically or predominantly, I would say, deals with the period from 1970 onwards, but from 1975 it becomes more relevant to South Africa, because that is the time that the so-called Portuguese colonies got their independence, and then the focus sort of moved towards the assistance specifically to the ANC liberation movement.
All right. Now, Maurizio, what are you hoping to achieve from this exhibition?
Well, if I could just give you a few important aspects of the exhibition, right, which then takes us to our specific goal, which, as we say, is to ensure that the people of South Africa, and specifically our children, study this chapter in our history. If you analyze and look through the exhibition, one will see that in 1979 and in 1984, there are two very big ships that are sent from Italy to the southern parts of Africa to assist. And those ships contained 3,000 tons of aid. Then in 1984, they contained 5,500 tons of aid for the assistance of the people in exile. The next point is, for example, the Sechaba magazine, the journal of the ANC, was translated in the 1970s into the Italian language. And there were 4,000 copies printed to make the Italians more aware of the struggle against apartheid.
All right. If I can just maybe interrupt you there, Maurizio. What are you maybe hoping that people that come to see the exhibition will take away from it? What are you hoping they will take away from it?
Well, what they will take away from it is to understand not only the struggle that took place in South Africa, but also the important things that were achieved by President Oliver Tambo and Anthony Mongalo and the Italians in ensuring that the process unfolded towards the establishment of a democratic South Africa.
All right, and then where exactly are you maybe hoping to take the exhibition?
Well, the exhibition at the moment is at the Old Fort at Constitutional Hill. It will be there until the 16th of November.
All right.
And then the Italian Embassy and the Italian Institute of Culture have requested that the second stage be in Cape Town.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Maricha. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you.
All right. We will now go for a quick ad break, but do not go anywhere. The Children's Museum in Cairo has opened its doors to blind kids, putting them in touch with Egypt's ancient history. This was to celebrate White Cane Safety Day, an international event that has been observed annually since 1964 to celebrate the independence and achievements of blind people.
The children were allowed to touch some of Egypt's ancient artifacts, something which is normally strictly forbidden. The manager of the museum, Mahmoud Al-Halwaji, said it was important to give the children a feel of the country's ancient history.
As you know, it is forbidden to touch the displayed antiquities at museums, but we make an exception for the blind to let them feel, so that when we tell them about a statue, how big, great it is, or the strength of the king and his body and muscles.
The museum has a school for the blind and materials written in Braille to make it possible for vision-impaired people to read. Former head of the museum, Dr. Wafa Al-Sadek, said the museum has tried to introduce new fun ways to make children, blind and sighted, enjoy museums.
Children are more willing to come to the museum, and they even ask that they come once, twice, 3 times. And of course, the Children's Museum works with NGOs like Risala and schools and special centers. Through this cooperation, the children come and visit the museum and learn, and they use beautiful expressions such as "I saw" or "I want to go and see." Hearing that makes me very happy.
Under Egyptian law, it is not permissible to interview minors without their parents present. At the end of the day, children still enjoy the unique experience of being put in touch with their country's long, rich history.
The yearly Musical Society of Nigeria Choral Festival is taking place at the Musun Center, Lagos Island in Nigeria. The event starts this evening until next week, Sunday.
The event will be an eclectic mix of classic music, jazz and African music. It also has other regular menus like stage play, art exhibition, choral concert and youth concert. Themed Muson Coming of Age to reflect its 18th anniversary. The festival, as usual, will serve up a variety for guests. Another interesting feature is dance with workshops on Latin, ballet and hip-hop, which is organized by Society for Performing Arts of Nigeria. The youth concert is a music contest among young musicians competing amongst themselves and is tagged Music Quest, and it takes place this coming Thursday. Parents are advised to bring their children to the youth concert so they could be inspired to see their age mates at play. The Muson Day concert and cocktails will come up next Saturday at Shell Nigeria Hall, while the festival will close with the traditional gala choral concert.
Backup singers play a huge role in the lives of established musicians in the country. However, little recognition is given to these musicians. Now, to change all of this, the launch of the BVSM, or Backing Vocals and Session Musician Awards, dedicated to giving them recognition, will take place on the 22nd of this month in Pretoria. Now, to tell us more about these awards, we are joined in studio by someone who has played a huge role in the music development of the music industry in South Africa, Umam Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Hello and welcome to Afroshowbiz News, Ma.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Now, Ma, you will be launching the Backup Vocal Session and Music Awards on Wednesday. Tell us why you decided to embark on such a project.
You know, I've been in the music industry for 29 years, and I've seen the power that the session musicians and the backing vocals have got. You know, you look at Johnny Clegg, Rebecca Malope, Brenda Fassie, and you look at these musicians who do the backing for us, even the ones who play the instruments, and nobody has ever thanked them. Nobody has ever recognized the power that they have. I've seen some artists, frontline artists, who would go on stage and maybe all of a sudden the voice goes. And who takes over? It's these BVs, you know. And the session musicians, you want a particular sound on your record, who do you get? Abo Butemp, Abo Victor Masond, Abo Godfrey Mcina. So these are the people who play a very, very vital role in making us. They are the ones who make the stars.
All right, now, Mama, you have been in the music industry for a number of decades. How have maybe backup singers and session musicians helped shape your music career?
I must say that my very, very first show that I did, I had a drummer, Vusi Khumalo. I was so scared being on stage, and Vusi Khumalo was the one who sort of urged me, Ujo's Dlatu. You know, they shaped me, they made me who I am. And I look back now, 29 years later, I think these are the guys who made me what I am. They encouraged me because they had been in the music industry before me, but they encouraged me, they shaped me, they made me what I am. And that's why I decided I want to honor them. I want them to know that we recognize them, we appreciate them, but these awards are going to be different because I want to take these artists and they should go out and do outreach programs to say to other people out there, you can be at the back and still have longevity in the industry and still work and make money. Not everybody can be a Lyra or Yvonne or a Brenda Fassie. You can be at the back and still have so much to give to the world.
All right, now, Mama, perhaps maybe take us through what criteria you will be using when selecting the winners of these awards.
The ones that we're doing at the State Theatre on the 22nd is just the launch. We're trying to get sponsorship. We're trying to tell people about the awards. So it's just the launch. But we're having these very session musicians performing for us. And the next year, 2015, we're going to honor the musicians who've been around for a long time. Abo Sis Mandisa, Abo Sis Beulah, Abo Nolene. There's just so many of them, you know. We're going to nominate them and award them. And I would like to see the award going with some money because, you know, the record sells and they've got no recourse. They're not getting anything. And then in 2016, they are going to be nominated by the record companies, by their peers, and by the public. So it's all the genres. It will be a best backing singer, best bass bass session musician, or Congo drums, or all the instruments. So though the awards where people are going to be nominated, it's going to be in 2016. But in 2015, we are going to say to those who have been there for a long time, here, we recognize you, and they will be just given the awards.
Is it perhaps maybe musicians from around here, or are you looking at the whole country as a whole?
Well, it's the whole country. It's the whole of South Africa. As a matter of fact, it's going to be in Africa as well, even in America, in New York and in London. I've just come back from the United Nations, and this has never been done, even in America. So I've actually trademarked the BVSM Awards worldwide.
All right, Mama, now what do you think has been maybe some of the challenges when putting together this? What has been maybe some of the challenges that you had?
It actually took me 10 years to be where I am today. I've gone to different people, I've knocked in different doors. I've had people saying to me there's no significance in awarding backing vocals and session musicians, and that really made me very, very upset. And I've decided to take my own money and do this. I'm grateful to the SABC because they've seen the significance. Sambro have seen that, the Tshwane mayor as well, and some company called They Make Crystals. So these are the people who've come and said, we will help you, but half of the money comes from my pocket, and I don't regret it.
All right, well, Mama, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I wish we could talk a bit more, but time is up. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That was Yvonne Chaka Chaka talking to us about the upcoming launch of the Backing Vocals and Session Music Awards. Now, one of South Africa's most prolific musicians, Johnny Clegg, will keep his fans captivated at his intimate show set to take place from the 22nd of October till the 26th at the Mandela Joburg Theatre.
Johnny Clegg's Best Alive and Unplugged is an intimate show which includes storytelling by Johnny Clegg, where he talks about the events in his life and the political history of South Africa and the world. The show is truly a personal journey, which also offers humor at times. Clegg has a career in music that spans over 4 decades. In 1969, he formed the first prominent racially mixed South African band, Juluka, with Gardner and Zulu musician Sipho Mchunu. He's an important figure in South African popular music history with songs that mix Zulu and English lyrics as well as African and various Western styles of music. He has sold more than 5 million albums worldwide and has crossed borders in music by attracting all kinds of races. His most recent album, titled Human, was released in 2010. Johnny Clegg recently underwent an extensive tour of the USA where he did over 42 shows in 67 nights. Over the years, he has managed to build a solid profile as a dancer, anthropologist, singer, songwriter, and academic.
This week, we take a look at a book titled Taming the Teenager by Gavin Fish. Taming the Teenager is an affectionate book by a respected longtime school principal at the Business of Understanding Teenage Psyche. As longtime principal of Cape Town's Fish Hoek High School, well-known educator Gavin Fish interacts with more than 1,000 teens on a daily basis. Taming the Teenager aims to help South African parents, teachers and teens alike to tackle the issues of life in a simple and practical way that works for everyone. As a parent of teenagers himself, he leads us entertainingly through what goes on in the mind of a teenager. 5 years ago, he began a regular column in the local Cape Town press called Taming the Teenager, detailing some of the humorous experiences of parenting and educating teenagers. His articles have received rave reviews. He has given numerous talks on the subject, including airtime on a local Cape Town radio station. You are still watching Afroshowbiz News. If you have missed any of our shows, be sure to catch us on our YouTube channel by simply searching for Afroshowbiz News. Time now for another ad break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. South African comedy continues to grow and has been receiving international recognition over the years. South African show Late Night with Loyiso Gola has just received an Emmy nod, while comedian Trevor Noah is set to be joining American satirical show The Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
The Late Night News with Loyiso Gola team surely have a lot to be proud of after bagging yet another International Emmy Award nomination. This follows its 2013 nomination. This also made the show the first South African satire show to be nominated 2 consecutive years for an international Emmy. The weekly satirical show has been nominated in the Best Comedy category with other international shows such as Please Like Me from Australia, The Mayor's Wife from Brazil, and War Owls 2 from Belgium. This was announced earlier this week with a total of 40 nominees from 19 countries who will be competing in 10 categories for an international Emmy. The show anchor Loyiso tweeted on Monday night that the Emmy nomination was dedicated to those who fought for the freedom of speech in South Africa. The 41st International Emmy Awards Gala will be held on the 24th of November. Still on local comedy, comedian Trevor Noah has plenty reason to celebrate. He'll be joining the cast of Emmy Award-winning satirical news show The Daily Show with Jon Stewart in December. Noah is no stranger to U.S. television. He has appeared on The Late Night Show with Jay Leno as well as The Late Show with David Letterman. He has been working hard building his profile as a comedian in the country by performing at various venues across the USA.
History 101, I hate President Obama. Ask me why. And I said, why? And he was like, what?
The film titled Finding Fela has begun its screenings in cinemas across Nigeria since yesterday. The screening is expected to run until the end of October, which coincides with his birthday.
I am Fela, who no mortal can ever kill.
The Academy Award winner Alex Gibney, known for his deeply insightful documentaries, has delivered a straightforward and engrossing biography of late Afrobeat king Fela Anikulapo Kuti in his latest project, Finding Fela. The film recaptures the story of Fela Anikulapo Kuti's life, his music, as well as his social and political importance. Shot in black and white and color formats, the film showcases actual footages from Fela's life and times. It also encapsulates revealing interviews from family members and cronies including Femi Kuti, Yeni Kuti, Bill T. Jones, Jim Lewis, Ricky Stein, Lemi Garioku, and Queen Kewe Anikulapo Kuti, among others.
We have now come to the end of our show, but be sure to catch the repeats every Sunday at 2 a.m. and again at 1:30 p.m. From me and the rest of the Afroshowbiz news team, it's thank you and goodbye.